Hey Gemini, welcome to your 3-card love Valentine's reading. Already we're getting some good stuff, so let me just move that out of the way. For those of you that are new to my channel, welcome. For those of you who have been here before, welcome back. I'm so happy to have all of you here. So I just wanted to hop in here and do a little love reading for Valentine's Day for my favorite Gemini people. This is Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Also for anyone with Gemini placements in their birth charts. And, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And let's get into some good stuff. Gemini, we're all about the new beginnings, opportunities out of nowhere, passion projects, and you're passionate about. We are talking about relationships here, so I think that this could be like meeting somebody who you're passionate about. It could also be reigniting the spark to a relationship, to Geminis who are coupled. So those of you who may have been feeling a little less of the love recently, this is a moment of time that's saying like what surrounds you is those butterflies again. So this is great. So like new opportunities, passion coming out of nowhere, wonderful. And in fact, these cards are great. This card to me is all about communication. So this card is in the past position. We are talking here about, with the 10 of Cups in reverse, we're talking about happily ever afters, and we're also talking about the way that we communicate with our partners. So this is saying that like maybe there have been times in the past recently where you feel as though the point you're trying to make hasn't been like coming across in a way that has been clear enough for your partner to understand. I think that because we are in Mercury retrograde, you are being asked to reflect on like the way you communicate. And so like a good course of action when it comes to this, and I think that a lot of you Geminis have been doing this, is that your partner will say something to you and then you say back to them, this is what I heard. And then they can respond for themselves as to whether or not what you heard is what they meant or not. And so I feel like you've been getting down to the nitty-gritty in terms of communication, like what it is that you want from your partner. For those of you that are single, this card suggests that like you are manifesting the happily ever after. So some of you could have been doing visualization exercises. Some of you could have been journaling and just kind of like writing out what it is that you want in a partner and the life that you are going to build with that person. This is also saying that like a phase of your life is closing so that a new phase can begin, and it has to do with family, with children, with love, with creating a happy, stable home. I think that for a lot of Geminis, you've been very much tapping into your intuition. So I think that and this is in present moment. So like, I think that a lot of you have been getting messages from your intuition. The 2 in this suggests communication. So I think that this is communication with self. And the High Priestess is also about, she's about intuition. She's about psychic ability. She's about divine feminine energy. So this is saying that like tapping into your truth, And so this is so interesting. So I think that you're having a moment where I feel like a lot of Geminis are going to be finding ways to go inward that speak to them in order to like tap into their authentic selves. And in tapping into your authentic self, you're able to have happier, more fulfilling relationships because you're honest with yourself and your partner. And that's true if you're single as well, that like you go on a date with somebody and instead of like being cutesy or maybe saying what you think they want to hear, you're telling them from the get-go your authentic truth. And from the get-go, you have the most authentic relationship. So it's based on this like very, very stable ground because it's coming from honesty. And that's in your present, like communicating with yourself in order to access your authentic truth. I love the Hierophant in reverse. This is probably one of my favorite cards. I think that as you move into the future, especially the more you know about your authentic self and how you relate to people in relationships, whether you're single or coupled, this is saying that like you're not going to be doing things the traditional way anymore. think that for some of you Geminis, you were a little bit conservative when it came to love, and maybe you chose one person over another because on paper they looked better, or maybe you held back saying what you really wanted to say in order to keep the peace. And so this is saying that like you are not going to be able to do that anymore. And in fact, with the Hierophant, you are not going to be able to keep your mouth shut. You are going to be like, why are we doing it that way? I don't necessarily agree with that. Why do we have to do it like that? That doesn't work for me. And I'm like, yes, Gemini though. Like, sorry, I was snapping. I was like getting so into it. Like, yes, like stick up for yourself. And in fact, let's pull some cards for the Hierophant. You do not have to keep the peace for anybody. You do not have to keep, that is not your job. Your job is not to keep the peace for everybody. And what's beautiful is that the Hierophant in reverse is saying that like Gemini owns their power. Gemini owns their power because you sit in your power. So this is major changes for you. So this is like, yeah, like I said before, because you're coming from an authentic place, the thing that you're going to be growing with, the person you're going to be growing with is stable, it's solid, it's reliable, it's not going to crumble underneath you. If you just watch the Taurus video, the same card just like hopping out. Oh my god. Oh, this is great. Okay, so we have here, as you move forward into the future, you're going to be you're going to be asking for what you want, and if you don't get it, you're not going to compromise because you have done a lot of work on yourself, and so you know that what you want is what's right and what's good for everyone. So, and it's not being stubborn. What you have here is the Tree of Life. So the Tree of Life is all about growth, which is why I said that you're growing something with the person you're with, whether it's someone that you're dating or whether it's somebody that you're in a couple with. And if you haven't met this person yet, they're coming. You're manifesting them. You're in a process of manifesting them. So this is saying that like you're building something with someone. The Tree of Life is all of the rungs and ladders of life. So whether that's finances, that's family, you know, kids, marriage, all that stuff. And this is saying that like because you stand in your power and because you stand in your truth, you are attracting what it is that you want. So like you might have been attracting a certain kind of person before because you were living conservatively and you were saying the things that you thought people wanted to hear versus tapping into your authentic truth and speaking from a place of like honesty. And this is saying that because you stand in your power and because you stand in your truth, you're a magnet. That's true of the friends that you attract. It's true of the lovers you attract. And it's also true of the communication that you get from your partner if you're coupled. So this is saying gifts. So the ring is usually a gift of engagement. So some of you Geminis might be getting engaged. And that's because you know, for some of you Geminis, like I said, this is a new era for you. So for those of you that have been in relationships for a really long time and the person that you're with is always giving you excuses as to why they can't wife you up or husband you up or make your union legally official, this is saying that like, I think you might have said something to them. I think that they're starting to sense that you're not going to stand for their bullshit anymore. And so in fact, for some of you, there might be an engagement. For some of you, there might be a renewing of vows. For some of you, even this weekend, like this Valentine's weekend, there might be like a gift. So this could also be a gift. I think that this is also just like the person in your life, if you're coupled, this is somebody in your life who's appreciating you for the badass that you are. It's beautiful. And this is also saying that like there's sexuality and harmony in your relationships. Like you're attracting these very well-rounded relationships. And that's true of if you're single, that's the kind of relationship you're going to attract. And if you're partnered, this is, you're attracting more of that kind of like sexual, harmonious energy. There's just, you know, it's a good moment. It's a good moment for you, Gemini. I'm very excited. Yes, yes. Have confidence, Gemini. This is the final message of our little reading here. So it's just saying that like you are currently, presently sitting in your power. You know what you want, you know how to get it, you're doing the work, and so there is no way that you can go back to the way things were done before you had done all this work. So have confidence that you have the answers to all the questions that you've been asking, and that if something doesn't seem right to you, it's because it's not right. So have the confidence that you know better than anyone how to move forward. Gemini, this is a beautiful reading. I'm so excited for you. You really need to let me know how this all shakes out for you. Let me know about your love lives. Leave a comment. Email me at intuitivetarotempath@gmail.com. I will leave my email in the description box below. If you are interested in a personal reading, you can email me for information about that at the same email address. Gemini, I love you. This is fantastic. If you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed doing this for you, give it a like, give it a subscribe. Go confidently in the way of your dreams, my dear Gemini, and I'm so excited to see it all pan out for you. So, with that said, have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you in March.